Hey, what is up, spiritual hooligan? Are you ready to unlock the 6 powers of enlightenment? Now, the enlightened state is powerful because you become completely detached from the endless pull of want and need and desire. And this opens you up to a completely different way of seeing the world. Now, at first, it's a bit disconcerting, but in the end, it's very, very enjoyable. And over the last decade, I have discerned 6 very interesting, unique powers that make enlightenment very special and useful for people like you and I. Today, I want to walk you through number 1 of 6. My name is Matthew Ferry, and I'm bringing you your daily enlightenment. It's your moment to pause, to slow down, to get connected to enlightened perspectives. I want to help you to quiet your mind and restore your peace. Now, in my world, you and I need to actually redefine enlightenment for today's world. I mean, what does the word enlightenment even mean? If you read the ancient spiritual text, you likely get as confused as I did. Now, I was raised in more of a Western Judeo-Christian kind of mindset, so everything about enlightenment is really pointed in the realm of Buddhism and Hinduism, etc., etc., as very Eastern. And, I tried to read that stuff, but the metaphors and the dogma, it didn't sit right with me. Too many gods, too many protocols, too many rules. And when my mind first went silent, it was a bit disconcerting. The interesting thing is my mind first did go completely silent in Tibet. So I was in like a Eastern mysticism modality, right? And I was with my teacher, Stephen Sadleir, who is a Shaktipat meditation teacher. So it wasn't like I wasn't studying these Eastern modalities. It's just like, I'm no Buddhist. I'm no Hindu. It doesn't connect with me. I don't make them wrong. And certainly my teachers helped me through what they thought about, these Eastern ways of operating. But it wasn't really my thing, as you probably can tell by now, right? So when my mind first went silent, it was like, whoa. I was so used to the constant barrage of commentary that the silence was glorious and strange. However, while my mind was pristinely quiet, it was far from empty. The amount of information that I was aware of oftentimes became overwhelming. It took time to get used to. A quiet mind is like a doorway, and when it opens, you become aware of a much deeper reality. I began to see things that I didn't see before. I would look into people's eyes and their illnesses or their fears. I would just see them. I would see what they were up to, who they were, like deeper pieces of information. So not like a movie, right? It wasn't like plain imagery. It was more like a feeling or an intuitive quality that I would get. The sound of people's voice began to have a different quality to me. I could hear their motivations, their unspoken concerns, their mental blocks. And that's the version for me, right? It was different for everybody. But when I spoke to people, I would fall into these momentary trances. I'm used to it now, but when it first started, whoa, right? They would tell me that they felt like I was looking directly into their soul, and it wasn't something I was trying to do. It was just happening. And I'm sure it meant something different to them, but for me, in those moments, everything would disappear. In those instances, I would feel overwhelmed by my love for that person. And most of the time, they were complete strangers. It was a real crazy time. Now, as I walked through the world, I started to move into this state of persistent gratitude. And I'm positive that this is going to be a quality for you. Everybody I notice has different qualities they experience as their mind goes quiet, but gratitude seems to be one of them. And consequently, I was grateful for what was previously uninteresting. I would think, wow, how amazing that I have a drinking fountain right here in the park when I'm thirsty, right? And tears of joy would well up in my eyes and be blown away by what was mundane. People that I used to see as ugly suddenly seemed profoundly beautiful. I started seeing God, creation, oneness, unity in every single person. I felt love the moment that I saw people. People who I had assumed were bad in the past suddenly appeared to be a part of the whole, and fear was replaced by compassion. So to say that this all had a positive impact on my relationships, on my business dealings, on my friendships, on my well-being, to say that it had a positive impact would be a massive understatement. I remember saying to the men in my business mastermind group, nothing has materially changed in my life in this last year. Yet I feel like I'm the luckiest man in the world. I feel like I've won the lottery. But from a practical standpoint, the circumstances of my life are exactly the same. Not ideal. Not what I had necessarily wanted them to be. I hadn't really achieved all the things that were coming through me. However, I felt profoundly grateful and energized by everything that I was experiencing. So in the end, I want to talk to you about 6 powers that get unlocked with enlightenment. And today I want to share with you the first of them. And the first of them is wisdom. When you achieve your enlightened state, and by the way, it's, first of all, you will. Second of all, the enlightened state is progressive. So it has these states that you go through. And the first state is you become overwhelmed with love and gratitude and peace and joy. And you probably experience states of ecstasy, things like that. I mean, it's different for everybody. But when you first achieve the state, you're going to be flooded with information that was previously blocked by your mind's fears and filters and concerns and distortions. So all those fears and concerns and distortions are essentially survival programs. They are the hidden motives to survive. And when they start to clear up, all of a sudden, you see things in a whole new way. It's like the curtain opens up and suddenly the light of the world shines in for the first time. The world literally just starts to make sense to you. People no longer surprise you. They don't annoy you. They don't agitate you. They don't surprise you. Your curiosity explodes. Suddenly, everything is interesting. All the stuff that you thought was not interesting before, suddenly you're like, oh, wow, incredible curiosity. Now, like I've said before, you're going to feel like the character in that movie Limitless. Did you ever see that, where he takes the drug and suddenly he's using like 100% capacity of his brain? Initially, it's going to surprise you and it's going to surprise the people around you. They're going to start saying like, how did you know that? And the truth is, you won't actually know how you knew it. It will just come. It'll just be coming through you. Enlightenment is a state where more and more of life is allowed into your experience. So there's this incredible variety of things that are going on out there in the world, and they're operating in many, many domains of existence. And a lot of those domains of existence are not available for you to see when you are in a survival framework. They're blocked. So as you release the motivation to survive, suddenly your eyes open. And more of life just makes sense and seems obvious. And with practice, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Wisdom. So that's the first power that I see getting unlocked as you go into your enlightened state. So my question is, what will you do today to further your enlightenment? What are you going to do? Will you leave me a comment below? My name is Matthew Ferry, author of Quiet Mind, Epic Life, and I would love for you to like this daily enlightenment. Come on, you watched it, you listened to it all the way through. Will you like this? Tell these big platforms that this is stuff that other people should be checking out. Share it with your fellow spiritual hooligans. That makes a difference for them. It makes a difference for me, and it makes a difference for you because they go, wow, they're thinking about me. They care about me. And leave me a comment. You can also subscribe to my channel. I put out a new daily enlightenment every day. You can also come over to Facebook, Spiritual Hooligans Facebook group. We are rapping about this stuff and talking about this stuff. I'll put the link down below. Thank you again for tuning into this daily enlightenment.